Hello and welcome back to the channel. On today's video, we're going to be making a pretty exciting announcement for Bergy Bowsmith. I am now an official authorized Truth Archery dealer, and today we are going to cover my first impressions and some key features about these new Truth Archery bows. But before we dive into that, let's talk about what they offer so that you guys are aware and informed. So currently in the magnesium risers, the MG line, they offer a 31, a 33, and a 35-inch axle-to-axle bow. And then they do offer a more price point friendly bow, which would be the 33-inch axle-to-axle aluminum variant of this bow. So without further ado, today I got the first one in for my dealer order, and this is the 33MG. Now I have been playing with it a little bit and checking it out, getting used to the draw cycle so that I can inform you guys on my initial thoughts. I will have another video of a full setup video later on. These bows are currently offered in 4 colors. FDE Storm Gray, a tan color, and a forest green color. This one is FDE with black limbs, and these are also available on my website for purchase. You can order directly through bergybowsmith.com. So without further ado, let's dive into this bow, talk about what I'm excited about for this, and kind of go from there. So we'll start out with the magnesium riser. This whole bow, I weighed it, I'll attach a picture in here, weighs 3.5 pounds as it sits right here. Bare bow, 3.5 pounds. The riser is magnesium, the limb pockets are magnesium, and these cams are magnesium. The draw lengths, I will also post those up here for all of the models so that you know what the draw length ranges are. The draw length is run on an adjustable draw mod, and there is a long draw mod option available. A couple key things, we're going to start small and kind of work our way. We're going to basically start in the middle and work our way out. This bow does come with a mounting attachment point for core lock. It does not have an integrated spot, and it does not have a dovetail or Picatinny mount. For me, that's not really a big deal. I don't really run Picatinnies. I do run dovetails. It has a spot for a side-mounted dovetail, but not like Matthew's bridge lock, obviously. And as far as rests go, I always run universal mount rests. I never run integrated rests. So for me, it's not a big deal, but if that's something that's important to you, the core lock for Hamsky is an option on this, but any integrated rests are not an option. The grip. This grip is incredible. One thing that I think is very overlooked about this grip is there's actually a couple little machined grooves in each side of this grip. So when you grip this bow, your hand naturally sits right in these machined grooves, and this grip is thick enough to feel very, very stable in your hand, but it's thin enough that you can't really torque it all that much, and it's very comfortable to hold. It doesn't feel too bulky in the hand, and it doesn't feel too small in the hand. It feels just right, and it is very, very comfortable and extremely repeatable. As far as this cable roller guard here, it has this U-shaped or this hump in it. That is makes it very, very easy to do your left and right adjustments on your rest without running into the cable guard and trying to fight that to get an Allen wrench into your rest. It's just a nice little additional feature that they thought about when designing this bow. Now this bow is designed by Kevin Struthers, so I'm sure that you can see some features that are also present on other Kevin Struthers bows, but this is a completely different company. It's not tied in with any of those other companies. It's its own separate entity and its own separate company. As far as, let's move down the bow here, you have a normal stabilizer mount here, a lower stabilizer mount, and a back lower stabilizer mount. Now this back lower stabilizer mount is not offered on the 31-inch axle-to-axle model. It is only offered on the 33s and the 35s. Also, these bows currently are only offered in right-handed. They are working on trying to figure out if they're going to do left-handed for this year. But as of right now, these are just offered in right-handed at the moment. As we come further down here, the limb pockets. These limb pockets are made out of magnesium. And as you can tell, I don't know if you can tell that, but every single bolt or screw on this bow is grade 5 titanium. Now, in the past, I swapped all my bolts on my personal bows over to titanium. They don't rust, they look nicer, and they tend to suck up a little bit of vibration that the standard screws that come on bows just don't really suck up. It's a very different feel when you shoot a bow that has all titanium hardware. I know it's something very simple, but it truly does make a difference. And this bow offers it from the factory with titanium. As far as quiver mounts, obviously you can do your sight mounted quivers or mount your quiver to these bolt holes here, but it does also have the little triangle mounts for 2-piece quivers if that is what you like to use. Coming to the limbs and the cams we're going to kind of talk about all in one. This cam is extremely smooth to draw. Now, with that being said, I don't think a lot of bows nowadays are very rough to draw. They just all have different kind of peaking points. I think this bow stacks a little bit more on the front end, and it doesn't just dump into the back wall. It kind of just rolls smooth into the back wall. And if you have to let down, it kind of just smoothly rolls out of it. It's not that aggressive. I find it a very, very comfortable cam system to draw back. The limbs also flex 50% less than other bows on the market for the similar axle-to-axle length. So what that means is since these limbs are flexing less at full draw, you have a more axle-to-axle range. So the bow is going to hold steadier. It's going to hold on target easier. It's going to be easier to aim with a shorter axle-to-axle bow than a similar axle-to-axle length in another manufacturer, because these limbs are flexing less and you're getting more length at full draw axle to axle compared to other bows in that same class. But the interesting part is you're not giving up any of the speed or the energy that you would be getting. This bow is hitting some incredible speeds, and I have verified on this particular bow, this card says 71.8 pounds, 30 inches, 346.8 feet per second. I weighed it out on my scale, which my scale is not 100% accurate. It's probably a little bit off. I weighed it out at 71.5 pounds, and I shot it through my chrono at 346 feet per second. So that's within 1 foot per second and within 0.4 pounds of what is advertised on this card. And it weighed in at 3.5 pounds. And I would argue that this is maybe quieter than any other 2025 bow I have shot or tuned this year. It's extremely quiet, especially for how light it is. It holds well on target. It also has this little attachment point for your limb-driven rest. This comes factory on the bow. And it has K-set technology. There are no shims on this bow. You don't have to buy a bunch of different shim kits to get this thing to tune out. The easiest way to describe how K-set works is it's very, very similar to Bowtech's deadlock system. It's not the same. It's a little bit different. I will cover that in its own separate video when I do my full build and tune video on the Truth 33MG. However, it basically is a driving system that will move your cam left and right to set that cam lean and get rid of any of those left and right tears when you're tuning your bow. It's a super innovative system. I believe it's 1/4 inch drive. It might be a touch smaller than that, but I believe it's a 1/4 inch drive. One thing, when you get your bow and you take it out of the box, whether you order it from my website or you order it from Truth or your local dealer, whoever you order it from, it will come with these little black rubber pieces over the case set posts. Those are just for transit to protect these. You can take them off. You're not going to damage your bow if you don't have those on. These are meant to be removed. So with that being said, this is the Truth 33MG, and I am super excited to be able to offer this to you guys, my customers and my viewers, and to bring you guys more content focused around the Truth Archery bows in the future. If you guys have any questions about the Truth Archery bows, please leave them in the comment section down below. I'd be happy to get to them and answer those questions as they come in. But without further ado, that is the end of today's video, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Peace.